Hey everybody, and welcome back. My name is Sue and I'm from OML Embroidery, and today we're going to be working on this really cool scarecrow. I'm going to show you guys the basics, and then it'll be up to you to change it around and make it look like you want. Don Brown, yay. Don's outside with the dogs. Hi Lila, hi Misha. Hi, Lise. I saw City King. Hello. Jackie Burke. Hello. Julie from Michigan. Hello. Sharon Berger. Hello. Lots of people to say hi to. Well, we're all here. I did not want to confess hot tamales and cotton candy. Cotton candy. Hi, Diane from Massachusetts. Judy Quilt, hello. I'm on the go with my husband doing work errands. Well, that's okay. Pat DePetro, hello. Shannon, hello. A lot of people here, hello. All right, let's dive right into it. I've got lots of ideas and lots of ways that you guys can create the scarecrow. But let's start at the beginning. It helps if you unmute. What, you can't hear me? You can hear me. Yes, you can. I did. Karina's here? I didn't see her name. Oh, hi, Karina. Awesome. Okay, let's go to the scarecrow. And the way I started off this one, so picture a scarecrow. Now, this can be a scarecrow-ish because anything goes. So I wanted to put a big floppy farm hat on my scarecrow face, and this is the body and the legs. So normally when they make a scarecrow, they will stuff it full of hay or straw, so it's not perfectly symmetrical as this. Oh, and we have to have arms too. Now, the good thing is we don't have to do hands or legs because scarecrows don't have that, and we can do almost like a jack-o'-lantern face. So this is how I started off, and it doesn't really look too much like anything, but it's a good way to start. YouTube is hashing up again. Oh, YouTube. We have it permanently set to do that. It's crazy. So, okay, sorry, YouTube. I don't know why it doesn't like screen sharing, but my guess is the time of day. It's annoying. So these are all of the shapes that I use. So I am working in Perfect Embroidery Professional by Dime. I just really enjoy this one for the classes, and I like all the symbols, and it's easy to use, and I love, love, love the lettering because they have micro fonts, which is totally spectacular. However, you can do this in any software because we are just using basic stitches. So we're using shapes, digitizing software all around has that. We're using fill stitch, we're using applique and satin stitch, and a run stitch. So you can do it in any software so you can follow along. So my first thing that I ran into was the hat. And I'm laughing at myself here because I kind of did it up and I looked and I thought, well, that looks like a samurai warrior or something like that. That does not look like a hat to me. So I kind of chuckled. Now, I developed it into this. Let me turn on the real view. I developed it into from this to this. And all I did for this part, I left the face how it was, is just a circle. Remember, no stitches, it's just a circle. And I took this part, and even before I put stitches on it, I just added some nodes. So remember, you start off with a shape, and then you move the shape around. And that's what makes it so cool. So I'm going to pull this one up a bit, and I'm going to pull this one up a bit. We want it to kind of look like a hat. If you want to, look at pictures of a hat to see how it looks on someone, see, I'm bringing this part down a little bit. And of course, it's any kind of hat, and the hat will be, kind of bent, and because it's just a crappy hat to put on your guy, right? So it doesn't have to be perfect, so you don't have to be too picky about it. Let's hit apply and try that and see. See, I've got some wobbly lines, but I kind of did that. Now, that is not cool either, so we're going to make it a little bit smaller. And the idea being that we want the edges on the side to come down like this one. So it has to come down almost to eye level, wherever you're going to put the eyes. What are we designing? Maud says, what are we designing? It's a scarecrow. So we're putting together a scarecrow, and I started off by saying, anything goes on this one, because it's a scarecrow, and it's made of old clothes and pieces of wood and everything like that. So you don't have to be too particular about it, and that's what makes this one fun. So I'm going to pull the hat down, and I kind of want the hat to go out. It's a wide brim straw hat, I guess. Why not? And we'll pull this part out and see it's kind of getting that look to it. Just a little perspective. If you want to plunk a hat on the top, then that's fine too. Whatever, or baseball hat, even the whole bit. So I'm going to take the circle because it's a two-part hat here. And I'm going to change the circle because it kind of looks weird like this. So I'm going to add a couple of points. A lot of times with our shapes, we are working in node mode, and I'm cool with that. It's easier to do. So I just want to make it a little bit of a different shape so it looks like the top of the hat. I'm going to pull this down just a little bit. Let's see. Oh, click apply or enter in this software. And let's pull this down a little bit. So I did fiddle around with it quite a bit to get it to look like a hat. Now, without the stitches, it doesn't. But you don't have to put a hat on your guy. You can change it up a little bit. I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to delete this. And you can make a girl. So if you can't, hi, Gail, straw hat. Yes, you could make a straw hat. You can make anything you want. But if you can't get, like, if your hat looks like my haha hat here, which is hilarious, I was just laughing at myself, seriously, then why not put some straw hair? So for that, we're just going to go kind of back and forth on it, because we don't really want jump stitches. And it can be as simple as just, a run stitch, and we'll move one down and kind of maybe make it out like that. And you could make it squiggly if you want. You could give your scarecrow girl more style. We can change the stitch type to it. So let's just do half, and then we could copy and paste. So nice straw color I did. And kind of messy. You could put some swirly ones over that as well. We can also change it to a bean stitch. There we go. And it's going to look just thicker, maybe more straw-like. Jill Scarsberg, hello. That's awesome. Nice to see you here. And so what we're going to do is make a copy and then paste it. And all we have to do is just flip it. Always remember that you can do that, and it just makes it easy, and boom, look at that. Needs to be, fine-tuned, and maybe a little more hair here. And of course, we don't want a big jump stitch there, but I'm going to leave that for now. So, hat or hair or both? I mean, it doesn't matter what you want to do. Now, the face is super cute. So you can do, shapes as we normally do. Alicia, thank you, as we normally do. So we'll just, you can do googly eyes almost. Can't really see that, can you? How about we make it black so you can see it? So you could do googly eyes, and then you can copy Control C, Control V, and make the second one smaller. So that's what I would think a googly eye kind of looks like. Maybe the center even smaller. Or you can do, an oval with a satin stitch circle in it. You can make any size one that you want. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so we can see. And I'm going to put the Google on the googly eye just in the middle. So yeah, that would be cute too. So I'm going to select both of them by left clicking and dragging it around both to select both of them. And I'm going to do copy, and I'm going to do paste, Control C, Control V, pretty standard. And we have googly eyes. So a lot of different shapes. My only thing I would say is make it simple, because it is a scarecrow. So we don't want it too fancy. Think kind of like a jack-o'-lantern face. It would be, just sewing it on. Karina, thank you. So many ideas popping up in my head now. Yay! I also added a flower to the hat, which is fine. I just thought it looked good, a big old floppy straw hat with a flower on it. Now, for the nose, I was thinking simple. I think the googly eyes and the nose pretty much looks like a Muppet or an owl. I wouldn't put the nose right up there. So I just thought an orange triangle. That's as simple as it gets, and I think it would work fine on it. And then, of course, whatever kind of mouth that you want, what I want is just a smiley face. So I'm going to pick the running stitch, and I'm just going to do 3 points. So a straight, a curve, and a straight. So he has a big smile. I'm going to change that color. I should have done that first, but hey, what are you going to do? There we go. And I don't want too many more details than this. I do like the generalized hair. I know that may look weird, but look, if you stand back, it looks just fine. And so does the face and the mouth. Simple, simple. Thank you, Gail. Much appreciated. So, be creative on it. A baseball hat, a big floppy hat. It's awesome. Either way, you could add like a top hat with a band on it. Scarecrows, I don't know what they do now, but scarecrows used to be made with whatever was around. So there we go. So let's move on from there. You can make a happy face or an angry face or a scary face. Either way, that's fine. Googly eyes, regular eyes. You could just do like almost a rounded square for like coal eyes. Whatever suits you and whatever you think looks good. I think that's kind of fun. So let's move on to the body. This is just a start for you guys. Like I said, it's not a person, so we don't want it to look like a person. We just want it to look kind of rough. So the body, here we go with the body. That's pretty simple. Look, if we put the body on there, yeah, that's about as simple as it gets, isn't it? Maybe a little too simple. So I want to put Jill Scarsberg, thank you very much. I want to put some arms on, but it depends on how you want to do it. So it's just a rectangle that is a tiny bit longer. You certainly can put the arms this way. Let's do a copy and let's do a paste right there. And we have 2 arms. You can have your guy just standing there with his arms down. Judy Quilt, thank you. Thank you for your love for teaching us, Soon. I'm having the time of my life, I'm telling you guys. It is so much fun. So much fun. So, arm positioning. Okay. What they used to do is like old pieces of wood and broom handles, that sort of thing. So I kind of thought maybe that the arms should be out a little bit, kind of in this sort of position. Now, if you put, whoops, come on, if you put that to there, that's, we can do a little bit better than that. So I'm going to move it down. And then we're going to hop back into node mode. I'm going to put it right about here and hop back into node mode. And it's just simply a matter of this. Just kind of move it. We want this to be the same. We don't want it so thin. So I'm going to go ahead and add another point. And before I do anything, I'm going to make this point straight. Although, it doesn't have to be. We will mess with that after. Remember, again, it's a scarecrow, so nothing is going to be perfect on it. You could do it like that. We could add a little interest here at the end. You could make it raggedy. It really depends on how large you are doing your scarecrow. But perfection, no way, man. Does not need to be perfect. Now, if you want the arms doing something else, let's see, you could go like this and have one arm to that way, one arm to this side, kind of dancing maybe. Sorry, my iPad is dinging. It's a little bit annoying. Sorry about that. I should have turned the volume down. You could add the arms. You could make them, even straight, because there wasn't a whole lot of workmanship that went into these. Some of them I'm sure were really good, but most of the time it was just stuff they had. So you could put arms straight out, and if both arms are straight out, then, a piece of wood would have been through the middle, and that would make sense. So that's how we're looking so far for that. So whatever position you play around with. And then what I did here is I just changed it to fill stitch, and I filled it in. And I thought that looked really cool. However, I still don't want this square just so perfectly square. We definitely don't want to leave it that way. Now, what I did is I made it into an applique. You can see how much larger I made it, because applique on small things doesn't work. It's 5 by 3, so that's generally as small as I would go. I just thought for doing a scrappy design that making it applique would work really, really well. So let's try one way. We are going to select this. We are going to convert to, no, we want to go to shaping and weld it. And now it's one piece. It should be one piece. There's probably an error because I can see it already. And then convert to applique. There we go. That is a little bit of a problem because it's small. Look, see that? This doesn't match, that doesn't match. So let's go back. Let's go back, and we're going to go back one more. And I'm going to move this just a little bit closer. Just a little bit. I just didn't like how much of a gap there is. And let's try something else. Let's do this, and we can go right click, and we can try welding it now. We can combine it now, or we can create an outline. So click on create outline, and I'm going to put this right to 0 because I want it right on, and click OK. So that is another way of doing it. And if you look down here, look, see, it's one piece. So you can play around with it. Look, I just grabbed it. And I like it better that I moved the arms down and over a little bit, so it's not quite like this. Now again, we want to make it a little bit bigger because applique. I see someone there, denim would be cool. So I was thinking denim for the pants, and you'll see that in a minute. So let's make this bigger. And before we make it into an applique, I still want to get rid of this perfect square. So let's go into node mode and let's make it less perfect. So I'm going to stretch it out here. It's still kind of perfect. This is kind of a wide neck, so why don't we just kind of fix it a little bit so our scarecrow will have a neck. So it's just a matter of moving, and I'm going to add this one in. So add a point, and then I'm going to move it up a bit. And that looks better already, I think. I should move this one. Yeah, why not? Now, look, that isn't straight. Lila, thank you. That isn't straight, but I don't want it to be. Now, the other thing I'd like to do, this is too perfectly straight for me, so I'm just going to kind of make it uneven, like its shirt is tucked in or something. And I could even go as far as this, kind of pulling out the nodes here just to make it. Does not look better. I really think it does. So click apply. And look, I think this is much better than this. And then we're going to convert that, because right now, of course, we have no stitches on it. And I'm going to select it, and I'm going to convert it to applique and see how it looks. And I think that looks much better. So look, I only moved a couple of nodes. This looks basic. This looks a little more realistic. Now I'm going to select it again, and I think it's here. Yes, we can just pick a fabric, and it doesn't matter what fabric that you pick. I'll just pick like a brown one. There we go. And you can change the outside of the color. And this fabric is just so you guys can have a look, and see what it looks like. So remember, you could actually notice that the underarm areas are not even as well, and that's fine. The only thing I would have liked to have changed, and I didn't, would be the bottom of the sleeves. They're exactly the same. So it's kind of fun, because normally we're used to doing everything symmetrical, and you want your curves to be, very curvy and fine. This time we're kind of messing it up. But you see how that looks so good now? I love it. I love this little curve and this little curve as well. I probably should go ahead and put one in here because I kind of like how it looks. So I'm going to add point, and I'm not going to move the node. I'm just going to move the spline, the Bezier points on it, and hit apply. And even better. So we're really not adjusting a whole lot, but I love that already. That is much better. And we can change the outside the outside satin stitches to more of a brown color. Voila! Voila! Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Way easier than you thought it was, right? Way easier. So let's go back up to the bottom half, the pants. So again, I mean, this is pretty basic right here. And how would you make this rectangle into these pants? It's easy. Node mode is your friend. That should be a shirt, shouldn't it? Node mode. I live in node mode. So right click, add a point, and I'm going to change this before I move it to line, because we want it to look pretty good. So how about like here? Okay, that looks like a banner. It doesn't look like pants yet. So we may need to add a node or two. So I'm going to add one right here and add point. And I'm going to make that one into a line as well. and I'm just going to pull it down. Now it kind of looks like pants, doesn't it? Let's do the same thing here, add a point, and if we don't make it line, it's kind of, I mean, it's okay. I guess I could leave it like that. Maybe put a little cuff on it with matching shirt material. We could do that as well. I kind of like it not being a line. Perfect. Perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it looks good. I kind of like it. So you could make it bigger and do an applique of the shirt at the bottom of the pants. So again, this looks kind of messed up. It is not straight. It is not perfect. The only part that is perfect is up here. So why don't we fix that by adding a point? It's fun messing up stuff, I'm telling you. I had a really good time doing it. How about like that? I kind of like that. And then maybe the pants need to be kind of, like this. Just not perfect. Just not perfect. What is Don Brown saying? Scarecrows are supposed to be ratty. Yeah, so you don't want it to be perfect. It's supposed to be old clothes and stuff that they found. So I'm kind of liking these pants. I thought this was cool. You can see the difference here. This is too perfect. It's too perfect. And then fill it with stitches. And if you want to make it bigger, let's make it bigger, because this right now, always be aware of your size. That's only 2 by 1, so that's pretty small. Let me show you, though, what happens if you try to do it with a small, let's see. Oh, no, I did the wrong one. Whoops. Convert to applique. It doesn't quite look right because it's too thick. I don't necessarily like it. Let's go here, applique scale. All right, let's make it a bit bigger. And this is where I think it would be really cool to use jean material on your applique. Now, this is kind of raggedy. Jackie Burke, thank you very much. That is a nice bright green. You might want to fix this corner. I'm not too fussed with it, how it looks. So I'm just going to move this node over and see if that fixes the part. No, it doesn't. So what we need is, and I'm having a hard time seeing it, I'm going to, where is it? Oh, there's only one. It's a cusp. Just going to pull it out here. Even that's good enough. Apply. I just don't like how it folded down. Even better. Even better. Happy accident, maybe. And let's put some fabric into it. And I'm pretty sure I saw jean fabric somewhere. I'm not going to spend all day looking for it. But Kids Kitchen Mods, Nature, newsprint, stripe. Should we give them stripe pants? That would be fun, wouldn't it? Holiday, I can imagine that's fun. Oh, so beautiful. But just pick whatever you want. I'm going to go back to basic fabrics, and I'm going to guess that is jean. And how cool is that? So now our Scarecrow has a pair of jeans, and I like it. It has nice stitches. Another look that you could do to give it even more of a raggedy look is to not do satin stitches, but do a blanket stitch. So do raw edge applique and do a simple blanket stitch or a motif. So I think that would be really cool. And it would look messy. Don't trim it. Don't trim it or anything like that. So now we have the top and the bottom. I'm just going to grab the top here. And we can put it like that. Maybe I need to make the bottoms a bit bigger and put it like that. So he is bigger. He is bigger. And we can fill that in afterwards. And you know what? I'm going to pull it out a little bit to make it work. So doesn't that look better? Let's move these pants over. Doesn't that look good? better than this one. I just kind of left everything so I could show you guys how to fix it up. And the waves and the different things, I love it. So let's bring his face into the new one. Whoops. Or her face. Put eyelashes on it if you want. Let's bring it over here. And we could leave it like that. It's kind of funny, but yeah, denim phrase too. Yeah, anything like that. If you have extra fabric that it frays easily, then use that. And we're gonna sit it there, and we're not gonna put it right in the center because it is not necessarily in the center. So I think he looks good. I'm going to stitch some beige in there to make it look a little bit better. So what we need to do now is make all of the straw coming out. Now, straw can be curly, it can be straight, it can be any way that you want. And I just did it in the most random. You could give him a pumpkin head for Halloween. Oh, yes, you could, for sure. I know one more thing to do. His face is perfectly round, and I don't think that's cool. So that is my angle. I'm going to move the angle that way for no apparent reason. And I think we need to give him like a chin or some shape. It's not supposed to be realistic, but I don't think he should be a perfect circle as much as I love perfect circles. Like I said, it really is fun to mess everything up. I'm having tons of fun, and I had tons of fun when I created it. It's just something that we don't do often enough, I don't think. And it's, we just want it messed up a little bit. I'll move that up and in. Let's see how that looks. Well, yeah, that's much better. There's nothing perfect about it. Doesn't that look better? And I see I have to make adjustments to his hat. Or not, whatever you prefer. Or not is fine. So it's an ish. And I think what makes everything look better on this is the hair that I'm going to give him. So I think it'll look much better. It'd be cool if we took this. I know my list gets complicated. Let's take this and put it right to the back. And so the brim of the hat is down further. So to back. Hopefully I did that in the right direction. I think that looks even better. So we made the heads out of feed sacks and left an opening as a neck frill. Well, you're right on that, and we can easily do the, I know what you mean, the neck frill. That is what was done. So let's do that. Just on the fly, let's go. I'm just going to pull his sweater down a little bit and click apply so I have a little space there. And let's keep working with shapes because it's kind of fun. And I want to make sure I have a rectangle. You could do rectangle or ellipse. And I'm just going to place it there. And I am going to leave it that color, but we're going to go into node mode. And we, of course, need to pull this part down. So let's add point. And we want kind of, let's try line. And see, even like that and closer up to his face would be good enough. You could put more wrinkles into it if you wanted. I'm going to add a point here, and I'm going to add a point right here. So we go to the dip there and bring this side up so we're not symmetrical again. And let's see how that looks. Apply. And it's not stitches yet. So let's make it stitches. Convert to complex fill. But see, that's all right. I'm going to fill in the gaps, though. That's kind of the same thing I was going to do on his tummy. And again, these are straight lines, so I'm going to add points in. and just kind of mess it up a bit. Now you can get fancier with this. You can, you know, kind of make ties. You can make it like a zigzag all the way through even. I mean, that's fine too, but I'm going to leave my guy like this, like he's tied. And what I want to do is make it the same color as this guy. So what color is this? It is, oh, the pinky kind of color. I guess he can be a different color, but let's do that. And that kind of brings it together. And I would like this, I'm just going to pull it down a little bit rather than, you know, changing everything about it. I'm just going to pull it down so it goes over. Now, the one thing I am going to change back into node mode for a minute is I'm going to change the angle. It's almost right, but I want it straight up and down. And apply. There we go. I think that looks better. So now our Scarecrow looks like that. I think he's looking good. Let's fill in this spot right here because we can't have it, you know, like that. You could do suspenders on him as well. There's so many things you can do. Now for this one, I'm just going to pick complex fill, and I'm going to move this to the back after, but I'm just going to hack this out. It doesn't have to be perfectly done, but we do want it to overlap. And we must have this stitch out first, and because that's really important. Oh, I hacked it out a little bit too much. Oh well, let's go into node mode and just do this and apply, and there we go. Now I'm going to send this all the way to the back so it stitches out first. Stitches out first, and see how it looks. Now that doesn't look like anything, but we are gonna make more wheat or straw is kind of yellowy. We're gonna finish them up. I am missing one thing. They are usually standing on a pole. So let's get out our handy dandy rectangle, which we're on, and let's make one like this, maybe. Good enough. And we're going to change the color to brown, and let's convert it to, well, we could do fill or we could do satin, depending on the size. Yeah, that's fine for satin. And I'm going to put it, you know, kind of here. We don't want any of the background showing. And then we're going to have to send this to the back because it looks really rude this way. And we want it behind him. So, quick. There we go. To back, and it stitches out first. So now he's starting to look pretty good. Pretty darn good. I really do like the shape of his head with the neck frill part. I'm just going to do that again. I just need a little more room. I'm feeling kind of cramped. Why are you not doing it? Why? We're not selecting everything. Okay, so I will move this stuff then, if it's not going to do it for me. Out of the way. I think it's my mouse again. I think my mouse is running out of power. And move these simple plain pants over here. Okay, I can breathe now. So how's that looking? I think it looks great. So I think we need to add the straw, and straw can be stiff. It can be, you know, curly. It can be anything that you want it to. What's brilliant? Where's his face mask? Very funny. Well, if you did the face mask, you wouldn't have to do the neck tie-up piece or much of the nose and the mouth, of course. What are we saying that's brilliant? And ouch, I'm a little bit behind. So now I'm going to make the bundles of straw that we're going to put everywhere. Now, you can give this guy hair. I think the hair is really cute on this side. It's just messy. It's just nothing. It doesn't make any difference. You could, the Scarecrow with the brown sweater almost looks like a cowboy. Yeah, kinda. Yeah, kinda. I like the waviness, and we're gonna have some straw coming out. You can put some straw coming out of his neck, out of the top of his head. You can do as much as you want. Make sure that you have, um, make sure that you have good connections, because I'm gonna hack it out, but then I would make it better. Yes, someone said, who was it? Satalin said we need a patch. Yes, and you know what? You could make the patch out of his um shirt fabric. Little tiny thing. Just you could put it on there and we can make stitch marks, or we can stitch it. We're still on rectangle. So good enough. So let's make a rectangle. Yeah, because it's all ratty stuff, isn't it? It's all broken and dirty, and there we go, one square, and we can do maybe like a longer, skinnier one. I think all these details are awesome. So let's right click, convert to complex fill, and let's do the same to this one. Right click, convert to complex fill. So our shapes in action again. And then we want to just simply take a running stitch, and we're going to make some big old messy stitches on it. So just kind of like this, have an edge. I don't know how well you guys will be able to see it on the fabric that I chose, but it doesn't have to be neat. And I'm just going, you know, like a messy zigzag is what I'm doing. And it's easy enough to do. Another one here, corner, and this is going to make it look really good. We got to get back to our straw though, and go back to here and hit enter. And that doesn't look good because it matches, so we could do it in black maybe. How does that? Hello, could we not do it in black? Black. See how that looks? It doesn't show up quite as nicely as I want. So let's make it a weird color so you guys can see it. How about a turquoise color? Yeah, why not? And just sew it on. Raw edge would be good for the patch too. It depends on the size. You don't want to get like really small applique. Red stitching, yeah, that's perfect. You could just do an applique for this part. See, it's pretty tiny. It's not even half an inch by 1. But what you could do easily is just, you know, kind of cut up a piece of your fabric and maybe just lightly glue it on there. And then you can fringe it up all you want and it'll look like a patch. It's a little bit small for my liking. I mean, you guys might change your mind. Let's have a go here. Convert to, I did make it bigger. Convert to applique, and that's probably not too bad making it bigger. It's 1 by 1, so 1 inch by 1 inch. Yeah, that is pretty small. Could you reverse applique and cut it out of the applique? Yes, but again, you're getting fiddly small, right? That's the only hard part. You can do anything that you want, but just remember that we're working small. If you want to do details like that, just make it bigger. Just make it bigger. You could do it in a couple of pieces too if you wanted. How about we'll do some stripes? Woo! Look at that. That is some stripes. Maybe this one? I don't know. Yeah, look at that. That adds to it. Let's do the outside in red. Now make sure, of course, that you organize everything that you're doing within excuse me, the design. I have everything like messy. I'm going to select this and I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste and I'm going to drag it up here. And I don't want it to be exactly the same. So we have a little bit more room here. So let's go into node mode and we're going to add a node here and add point and kind of make it a little bit wonkier, add point, and we can make it any shape that we want. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, I think that might look okay. I'm going to leave it like that. A couple of straight bits in it, but let's stand back and see how he looks. He looks patched up. Now, you could put one on the shirt too if you wanted. How about a blanket stitch? Would that work? Yeah, depending on the size that you want. The size that you're making this guy. So I don't think I can auto convert it from here. I'm just looking. Regenerate. Just looking. Corner type, activation, applique width. That's about right. Just make sure it's not getting, too small. So you can change your placement line and how everything's going, but it doesn't look like you can change it to blanket stitch without taking off the applique. And if you don't have the applique, I mean, you can put it together, running stitch, zigzag stitch, satin stitch, but you won't be able to, audition it with the fabric. So that's the only thing. And also you got to make sure it is in the right area, sort of thing, to do that, the right order, sorry. Blanket stitch, I think on the whole thing would be better, but I wanted to show you guys, remind you to add fabric. What you could do is set this all up and let's see, I'll show you guys what I mean. So let's select it and I'm going to right click it and I'm going to, can we break up the path? Did I way down here? So we have it separately. Yeah, maybe I did. Oh, hey, that would be cool if I just figured it out. Satin, E-stitch, boom, and it still holds it. Yep, I love this. Now, that looks even better, the E-stitch over it. So let's do that again. And it's right here, so I don't even have to do any of that. Motif, symbol, crazy cool thing. So my bad, it's a drop down. Let's do it with E-stitch. Oh, heck yeah, I'm loving it. Let's do this one with E-stitch. I've never actually looked, so I'm super happy that I found it. There we go. It can do everything. So let's step back now. Much better. I really like that. And when you're trimming it, just make it messy. What do you guys think? Much better. Much better. So, learn. Now, the last thing that we have to do, I'm loving this, is add in the, we want pieces of straw or leaves or, whatever, coming out from this guy. And what I did is I just did a squiggly and then I multiplied it. I'm going to put this on top first, but then I'm going to send it to the back. I just have so many things on here that are the same because I copy and paste and work my way down that it's hard to do. So that looks a little too neat. How about we'll add another one and I have to send it to the back again. So we want everything to be messy. It's a run. Let's order and to back. So this part, this part here, and this are gonna, and the face, I guess, are gonna stitch out first. And that's what we want, because we want layers. Isabel, thank you. I'm going to change this to the straw color because I think it would look better. I think the color that I have is kind of weird. So I just made a squiggly, and I'm going to take my running stitch. Where are you? There you are. And I'm going to, it starts here and it ends here. So I'm just going to make some straight pieces like this, and you want it messy, but I also don't want jump stitches either. So I'm going to go back and forth at one starting point and just make it look like straw. That's all we have to do. There we go. I'm liking that. It's nice and messy. You can use the same one for each of them and not worry about it. Okay, I'm going to do Control Z here because when I grabbed everything, sorry, it didn't grab all of it. It left my curly one. So there we go. So you kind of place it maybe here like this. And then, of course, to see it properly, we have to send it to the back. So order to back. There we go. And it didn't go. All right, well, geez, let's try that again. Order to back. Huh, now it did. So, and you can have it kind of dangling a little bit more. Look what we can do without doing nodes. You can move it a little bit back, a little bit over, and it's going to look different every time. So I'm going to do duplicate, and there we go. I'm going to click it there. Come on. Wrong way. There we go. And I want it to be longer in here. I'm just going to move it because I didn't draw it out properly. So something like that. It's pretty easy. Then you send it to the back. And I think this whole thing, we can still do a duplicate. Are we still in it? No. Copy, paste, and pull that down and kind of make this one a little bit longer so we don't want anything to look right. So much fun. So let's order send to back, and there we go. So we've got a lot. I want some more straw here, but I'll probably just do a very uneven zigzag stitch. But look, it's all different. That needs to be moved to the back. You guys get the idea. So I'm going to do a little bit of advanced work here, and I'm going to tell you guys how I want this to stitch out. So the back elements, the face, these ones are behind, these ones are behind, that sort of thing, and this one, they're all the same color, and what we need to do is connect them. Now for this one, I started here and I ended here. So this one can stitch out first, so you have to put it in the correct order. And then I'm going to do a running stitch up here, because this will be covered, to where this one starts. So we hit enter, put it in the right order, start here, finish here. And then when it's finished, we're going to go up here and we're going to stitch out this. All right, to wherever it starts. And then we're going to go up here and we're going to start, I think it was back a little bit. Start there, put it in the right order, of course. We want it to stitch out at the right time, or else we'll have jump stitches. And then we're going to go here, and we're going to do the exact same thing, and one more to right here, and this one will connect to the face. So that looks really terrible, but this is all the pieces I just did are going to be underneath. And these lines, these connections, are not going to show because we're putting applique over it. And that makes it easy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts of this are going to stitch out and with no jump stitches. So that's connections. Again, they're on top. They need to be in order. So you have this one stitch first, this is second, this is third, this is fourth. You guys get the idea. And put everything in the correct order. So we want all of the hay stuff to stitch out first. Now, I just saw someone who said eyebrows, and I think every creature we create should have eyebrows. So why don't we make him some eyebrows? And I'm just going to do just a line. He doesn't have to have groomed eyebrows, right? And enter. No. Oh, I did the wrong satin. This is that kind of satin. Oops. I always do that. I want this kind of satin. And now it'll work. So I'm going to do an eyebrow just like this. And I'm going to change its color to, whoops. See, my mouse isn't clicking. There we go. Change it to black. I'm going to Control C and Control V to make a copy of it. And then I'm going to rotate it a little bit. And you can decide what your guy is. So mine's going to be a little angry. And he's probably angry because I didn't give him hair. So, yeah, sorry about that. And his tummy's showing. Sorry about that. So, yeah, he's angry now. He's angry. Isn't that fun, though? So we need some more straw here. Let's do the straw by just a running stitch to make a messy here. Kind of having straw coming everywhere and kind of making this look less neat is what we want. And straw coming from there. We don't want it neat and tidy. Let's draw it over here and we can draw some straw here. So I'm just, going back and forth, making it look messy. And let's see how that looks. Yeah, isn't that cool? So let's step back. So we've gone, this is straight and basic, and we've added details to this one. And I'm thinking this nasty guy right here, we got to come up with a name for my guy, because I think he is kind of a cowboy, a grouchy cowboy or something. I'm not really sure what he is. I'm going to make this guy a little bit bigger. This is a happy guy, this one. He's pretty happy. And this guy, not so much. His pants are ripped. Everything. Mr. Eyebrow. I always go back to like Fred or Frank for no reason. Again, with the selections. Come on. Nope. All right. So if you can't select it, see how much stuff I have here? Oh my. Oh my. Is that it? This is it. So I'm playing with the eyebrows now. I'm just going to move them over. And I'm going to straighten them just a little bit more, not a whole lot. And do the same thing that I did before. Pick this one and straighten it out a little bit. And I do want the eyebrows over the hat because I think that looks awesome. And look, he's kind of mad. He's very concerned. Reminds me of Eddie the Eagle. Should he be Eddie? Yes, Scary E. Kruger. Call him Tex. All right, I think Tex is going to work. So this is Tex the Scarecrow. And because we have a jump stitch in between, he looks like he has a monobrow, but that's okay. He's not as angry. So lots of connections, lots of detail work. the last thing I want to do is check his size. No offense, buddy. Just your how tall you are. How tall the whole design is. 12 by 16. All right, that it ended up being a little bit big. And so I'm going to make it a little bit smaller and see how our details look. You always want to try to digitize at the size you want your final design to be. And I don't want it 12 by 16. So this is 8 by 10, 8 by 12. And I think that would be a good size. And we didn't lose any of our details. And I think our dude looks great. He needs his running stitches, his connection stitches at the back, change the order of it. But I think it looks good. He needs a bigger hat. Since it's applique, you need to add a tack down line. It is applique, it's raw edge applique, and it does make it look better. However, we are trying to make this guy look messy, so you could skip it for sure. You could skip it and just do the blanket stitches around the outside, or some kind of motif stitches or anything. We will be talking more about these connections. We will be doing that. I hope you guys like tacks, and I hope you guys had fun and learned a whole lot of how to make a messy design look good. And I can't wait to see your homework in the OML Embroidery University Facebook group. No idea why that was so hard to say. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone. Bye.